All right, welcome in. It's Pugs and Company, the Pillow Talk edition, heard every Sunday through Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, whenever, like today. I don't know, whenever. This is the second of two daily streams that we do here on the Radio Misfits Network. We do one at noon Central Standard Time. We call that High Noon, where we do, topics. That's all. Basically anything that's trending, all the current events of the day, stuff that people are talking about, any sort of breaking news that happens to be happening. That's what we cover there. This is a little bit more light. We typically have more people with us. We have a couple of the and company we usually have with us at this time, but probably not tonight. So it's going to be one of them shows where it's just me, and those shows get a little different. They're a little different. I tend to get a little bit more. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if they're necessarily worse. They're different for me because instead of having to listen and pay attention to other people and try and move the ball around, this is just, like I'm returning kickoffs. This is all me. This isn't a part of an offensive play where I've got to move the ball. This is just all me. All right, a lot of stuff that I wanted to do today, but I just had to spend the last 5 minutes figuring out exactly what I wanted to do and what I can do, because much of what was planned for I had such a good show. Some days I open up. You folks know this. I open up and I just say, I got nothing. James, I hope you got stuff. Sunglasses, I hope you got stuff. But today was different. Today I actually had a whole bunch of stuff and stuff that I had teased earlier on the noon show that I wanted to talk about. But they are things that I specifically wanted to talk to James and E about. So I'm going to be relying on you folks in the chat room. So if you get as cozy as you want, pour yourself a little something to drink, make yourself comfortable, and then I'll be probably participating more with you all in the chat room. Oh, and on that, I did something today after the High Noon show, and it was a complete accident, but I think I might be doing it now regularly. Sort of like a after-show backstage kind of thing. The show ended, we played the John Hinckley song that we typically end the show with, and then I realized that my microphone was still on as I was looking at the chat room. Now, what happens is people during the day are very active in the chat room. There's a lot of comments, and it's just difficult for me. I'm just not that good to be able to focus on what it is that I'm trying to talk about and keep my train of thought and then be looking at the chat room and also be filtering everything that people are saying. It's hard. So I miss a lot of the stuff that goes on in the chat room. So what happened today was after the show, after I thought the show was over, I was looking in the chat room and I was about to end the stream. Now, when I end the stream, the chat room goes away and I can no longer look in there. So I didn't end the stream immediately like I normally do. I just started reading the chat room and then I realized, oh wait, my mic is still on. My camera is still on. So at that point, I just did about another 15 minutes of just answering all the things that were in the chat room that were being talked about throughout the day, all the different current event stuff that we had touched on. I went into that. So I think I'm going to be doing that a lot more now. I don't know that that'll be something we'll do on the Pillow Talk edition, but certainly you can look forward to that, I think, on the High Noon edition, because that stuff has more, there's more content there. There's more individual stories that we discuss. And so I can scroll back throughout the course of the show in the chat room and I can see something that we talked about an hour ago. This person had that comment. That was a good comment that I just didn't notice because, again, it's hard for me with plates spinning to, be able to do all that. So that's a new thing. So when the High Noon show ends, it's like a Marvel movie. You know, you never want to leave the Marvel movie until the very last credit is rolled because you never know what's going to happen. That's kind of what happened. Yeah, the John Hinckley song ended, and normally about 10 people were still in the chat room. So I was like, all right, well, I'll talk to these people. So we can keep that going. We'll do that. That'll be a regular thing. All right. So a lot of really bummer stuff that happened today, stuff that happened while we were on the air that I didn't even know about. Stuff, we had another one of them tragic school shootings. So I want to talk about that because I was just distracted by the sheriff's department in Oakland County, Michigan, who just gave the final update of the night. They said that they'll be doing another presser tomorrow morning, but we'll get into all that. You know what we need before that? Before that, we need a little moment of joy. Now, I wanted James to be a part of this moment of joy because James has daughters. This is This is amazing. Do you like the Ring doorbells? Do you have a Ring doorbell? This is such a great little video here. This is a boy, Jared is his name, and he came over to take a girl out on a date for like the first time. Now, the dad was at work, so the dad couldn't be there to meet Jared face to face. So the dad used the app on his phone to sort of interview, if you will, audition Jared for the date before he came to pick up his daughter. So that's going to be today's moment of joy. Let's watch this. This dad is awesome. Look, I've said it a million times. I'm glad I don't have daughters. I got one boy, and I'm happy about that. I would love a daughter. I would love a daughter who didn't date boys, because I would just be so. It's a cliche, you know. You hear a lot of like dads with daughters. Oh, I got a shotgun and I let them know. You know, it's like, oh, you roll your eyes and you're like, oh, shut up, Dad. Your daughter's gonna date. Stop it. But I do kind of understand it. Like I do see how you might joke about getting a shotgun, but there is a very real piece of a father's heart that gets stabbed the minute any boy comes sniffing around and wants to take her out. And I don't want to handle that. I'm glad that I'm the father of a son. My son is the one that's going to have to walk into those flames. So that's today's moment of joy. Let's watch. Let's see what happens for old Jared here and Dad Pedro, who is interviewing Jared from work over the Ring system.
Hello?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. Who's this?
I'm Jared.
Hello, Jared. This is Pedro. This is Grace's dad.
Oh, it's good to talk to you.
Oh, sorry I can't meet you in person because I'm at work. So at least
Oh,
I get to see your face, but you don't get to see mine.
All right.
Where you guys going?
I think we're going to go to the Roadhouse and then maybe a movie.
Okay, which movie you guys going to go see?
Hello?
Hello,
Oh.
my young daughter. Just hold on 1 minute.
Here's the daughter.
What movie you guys going to go see?
Toy Story.
Okay, roughly what time you guys going to be coming home?
The movie's at 7, probably before 11.
Oh, I heard 10:30. Okay, that's good.
10:30.
Works for me.
All right, so just make sure you treat her correctly because that's my first daughter.
You don't have to worry, sir.
All right.
Sir, good move.
All right. I got a good picture of you.
She's humiliated.
All right.
All right. Call me if anything.
Okay.
And remember, I know people everywhere, so they're looking at what you guys are doing.
Okay.
People
All right.
everywhere.
Love you.
All right, bye.
What time coming home?
Before 11.
Okay, I heard 10:30 again.
Okay.
So I'll see you later. Remember, I
10:30.
know what time the movie starts again?
Oh my God.
7:20.
7:20.
7:20. Movie ends like around 9:15. Yeah, so before 10:30.
Before.
Okay, 11 o'clock.
No, it's before
10:30.
10:30.
11.
Don't make me look for you, because I will. You know I will.
Oh, Papa
Okay,
Pedro,
love
I
you.
look for.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to talk to you.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Jared wants out of
Okay,
there.
bye.
All right, you have enough money?
What?
You have enough money?
Hard.
But technically, you don't have to pay. Jordan, hold on. You don't have to pay, so you'll be okay. So
Okay.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Hey, go take a picture of his license plate.
What?
All right?
No.
Get his license.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my God, bye.
Oh,
Jordan,
how
take a
humiliating.
picture of his license plate of his car right now before they leave.
All right, send little brother Jordan out to
they
take a
stood in front
picture of the
house.
plates.
I'm watching, I'm talking to them. Take a picture right now.
Look at that, he opens the door.
You better open the door. Good job on opening the door, her.
Oh, get the hell out of there, Jared. You don't want any of that heat. That's Papa Pedro heat right
They
there.
take pictures of the car when they drive away.
Come on, Jordan. Little brother Jordan, get pictures of the car. I didn't see a turn signal.
You got it? All right, thank you. Can you send me the picture of the license plate?
All right, so there you go. How about that? That's pretty good. That's got to make you. That Pedro. Oh, seriously, I would have to be exactly like that. I was no Albert. Albert says I was thinking about the license thing too. Yeah, but you know what else I was thinking? You know what Papa Pedro didn't think of? He should have said, Jared, I need you to pull out your driver's license and then hold the driver's license up to the Ring camera so he can get a picture of the driver's license, just to freak him out a little more, just to totally get inside of his head. Albert says I have a 16-year-old who has a boyfriend now. Oh, God bless you, Albert. God bless. May you be as diligent as Papa Pedro there. All right, that's your moment of joy. All right, moment of joy because, quite frankly, we ain't got a whole lot of joy happening in this world right now. This happened when we were on the air during the high noon, but for some very strange reason, it got very little news coverage, very little, especially in the moment. I tell you folks all the time, I have these alerts that go off on my phones for breaking news. I've got all of these different stringer services that even before the CNNs or the Fox News or the MSNBCs or the ABCs, even before they can mobilize and get stuff on the air to cover something that's breaking, I typically know about it a good half hour beforehand. And there's another guy that I'm a big fan of who's a YouTube streamer who does news, who does breaking news on YouTube. His name is Steve Lookner. And if Agenda Free TV is his number or his address, whatever his brand, I guess, on YouTube, he's fantastic as well. He usually goes live half hour to an hour before any of the major news services do, and he's covering stuff as it's just unfolding. So that didn't happen today with the shooting that occurred in Oakland County, Michigan, at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan. We obviously would have covered it live and unfolding on the afternoon show, but it was as soon as I signed off. I signed off the show after doing the extended little chat room thing that I do, and I went over to the little kitchen area here, and I made me a bologna sandwich, and CNN broke in. We have breaking news. This story unfolding now, and I'm like, huh, really? So then I go back and look at it, and the story actually started at what would be like 12:41. Yeah, actually, I don't know, whatever. But it had happened, and there was like no coverage of it. And then all day long, CNN is barely covering it. They are tonight. They're covering it in prime time to some degree. And the Oakland County Police Department just gave a press conference, the third one of the night. So here's what we know about what happened at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan, a suburb. I don't know if it's a suburb. It's outside of Detroit. It's not super close to Detroit, but it's not super far either. Like if you wanted, you could drive into Detroit. I don't know what the hell you'd want to drive into Detroit for if you've ever been. Anyway, it's just outside Detroit. We'll say that. So a 15-year-old sophomore brought a semi-automatic handgun into school, and he murdered 3 of his classmates in the hallways. He also wounded 8. I believe the number is 8 now. 8 other people, including 1 teacher. Here, let me make sure that we got all this for you. I'll give you exactly what the details are, because, oh boy, we got to be ghoulish about this, right? And I don't mean to be ghoulish, but, I got things that I want to say about it, so why not? Why not have a conversation about this stuff here, now that I'm all by myself? There's also some truly interesting video. Okay, Oakland County Sheriff Presser, 15-year-old student, sophomore, in custody. I don't have a name. I mean, I have a name. There's a name floating around the internet, but it hasn't been confirmed, and honestly, why make a star out of this little punk? So what's the big deal there? 15-year-old student, he's in custody. He gave himself up. He had a handgun. Police fired no shots. Police responded within 5 minutes. They're claiming. Police are claiming that they responded and had him in custody within 5 minutes of the first 911 call. However, there are a number of students and people who are at the school who are saying, what? That's not true at all. This was going on for like 20 minutes. So whatever, neither here nor there. But there does seem to be some difference of opinion about that. 3 students are dead. A 16-year-old boy, a 14-year-old girl, and a 17-year-old girl. 8 others were shot. Two of the 8 that are shot are in bad shape. So fingers crossed for them. The other 6 are in stable condition. One of the 8 that were shot that are not deceased is a teacher. So it was pretty much all students and a teacher. The 15-year-old sophomore who gave himself up, he had 7 rounds left in his gun when he surrendered to police. Police say that he put the gun on the ground and began walking towards the police in the hallway of the school with his hands up. There was no incident in taking him in. He is now in a juvenile facility. He is not cooperating with police. His parents have told him not to cooperate with police, getting a lawyer involved and all that kind of stuff. But see, so those are the details. Yeah, this happened this afternoon. Disgusting, sad, all that stuff. Nice. I mean, you look at this high school and it looks like a nice suburban American high school. I mean, clean cut kids and, it's not that, what would be the opposite of that? So Pugs, what are you getting at? Well, what, urban high school? No. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, as somebody who went to a high school like that with a bunch of, white bread, clean cut, suburban, shucks, we're all going off to college kind of kids, I can relate to that. But when a gang fight breaks out at an inner city school and it's just a bunch of gangbangers, shooting guns at it, it's still horrible. It doesn't receive the same kind of attention. But I'm just saying that I personally, I can't really relate to being in that kind of situation, as terrible as that is as well. So you gotta watch out what you say. Because I don't really know what to say. Here, you know what we'll do? We'll show some of this. There is some just absolutely amazing video. All the kids have phones now. So watch this one, will you? Here, I'm going to pull this up. Students were hiding inside a classroom, okay? There's a couple of parts to this that I want to talk about this particular story. So, let's see here. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me while I try to find it. So students were barricaded inside a classroom. Here it is. Pull this one up. The shooting was going on. It was happening out in the hallway. A bunch of students and a teacher, they had barricaded the door of their classroom. All the kids pulled out their phones. Many of them were streaming to different platforms live as this was going on. And this is an incident where the gunman is outside the classroom, and the gunman is posing as a cop, and he says, "Everything's all right. You can open up the door. Let me in." And the teacher, God bless this teacher, he's like, "I don't feel comfortable doing that." And for whatever reason, the teacher didn't believe that this was actually a cop out there, right? And he's like, "No. I'm a county sheriff. You can let me in. It's all safe now. No, I don't feel comfortable with that." And then the person outside the door goes, "Come on, bro. I'm not kidding." Like, he totally broke character from trying to trick them into thinking he's got. And at that point, the kids in the classroom just flip out and they run out. Just watch how unbelievable this is. Here.
He said, "Bro, red flag."
Here we go. All right, here, I'll pull it up for you. All right, is this sharing? Yeah. All right, so look at this. Look, these are all the kids in the classroom. Watch this. If you haven't seen this yet, this is just crazy. Sheriff's office, it's safe to come out.
Yeah, it's safe to come out.
We're not willing to take that risk right now.
Teacher, we're not willing to take that risk right now.
We're not taking that risk right now.
Okay, well, come to the door and look at my badge, bro.
Come to the door and look at my badge, bro. And then look at this kid. This kid right here standing up. He knows immediately. He's like, that is not a cop.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
God bless these kids. But they're all climbing through windows. Thank God it's the first floor.
Slow down, you're fine.
How about that? All right, one more time. Just listen to the conversation between the teacher and the gunman who's out in the hallway.
Sheriff's office. Say to come out.
Yeah, say to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now.
I can't hear you.
We're not taking that risk right now.
Okay, well, come to the door and look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro. He said bro. Red flag.
How chilling is that? And there they go. Man, just another day for an American kid in high school. Unbelievable. How about that teacher, though? How about that damn teacher? We're not willing to take that risk. I mean, thank God that teacher had some sense that something wasn't right there. And just open the door. Come to the door. Look at my badge. Come on, bro. Yeah, that is not a cop. That is not how a cop in a situation like this would say that. You know what I mean? It's, oh my goodness. So there's that piece of video. And then there's this one. Here, I'll show you this one as well. All right, so there's that one. Okay, so this is a student who was in, I want to say maybe he's in that class. I'm not entirely sure. But this student, and this builds up to the next thing I'm going to talk about in this particular situation. This student says at the end of this little stream that he's doing, something to the effect of, wait, is this the one? Hold on, I'm sorry, I might have the wrong one for you folks. I apologize. There's a number of these. Oh yeah, okay, so this is the one where the kid says he's living up to his word, okay? So almost as if this kid here, this particular kid knew that there was a threat against the school. And we'll get to that. We will get to that because that turns out to be something that's real. So here, let's watch this kid as he's live streaming from this situation. Okay, here we'll make it bigger. All right, is it sharing? Yes. Yes, it is. Here we go. Another kid from inside the classroom. This is him. He's streaming live to, I don't know, TikTok or whatever.
We're in lockdown right now. Oh, windows are shut. He's living up to his word.
What did that mean? He's living up to his word.
Bro, my camera's so dog shit. Bro, why is my camera so dog shit?
Teacher barricading the door.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now.
All right, so here, so that's
We're in
that.
We're in lockdown right now. Oh, windows are shut. He's living up to his word.
He's living up to his word, this kid says. Now, what is that about? Well, I'll tell you what that's about. Apparently, the school knew that there was a kid that was threatening to come and shoot everybody. Apparently, this kid had a countdown on his social media page. One of his pages, I don't know if it was his Instagram or something. I don't want to give out the kid's name, but I've seen the Instagram page. His name was The Bringer of Death. I'm coming for you, Oxford. Tomorrow is the day, was the last post. Now, this had been a thing that was going around the school for a good couple of weeks, to the point where parents kept their kids home from this school this week, believing that this week this psycho kid was going to do something at the school. Unbelievable, right? So you have that kid in that class who's saying he's living up to his word. They knew that this kid was a psycho and that something was happening. that something was about to go down. The school knew, the administration knew. And let me show you something. Let me show you what the administration did. Now, I have conflicting reports on this. I am not sure, but the report that I got from this is that this is something that parents were made aware of on Friday. Here, let me show it to you, and I'll let you read it. Okay, here we go. So, this is something that the school administration put out to parents who were keeping their children home from school because of this psycho. Oxford High School parents and guardians, we are aware of the numerous rumors that have been circulating throughout our building this week. We understand that has created some concern for students and parents. Please know that we have reviewed every concern shared with us and investigated all information provided. Some rumors have evolved from an incident last week, while others do not appear to have any connection. Student interpretations of social media posts and false information have exacerbated the overall concern. Blaming the kids. Just a bunch of drama queens. Just a bunch of scared, stupid kids that don't know. We're the administrators. We know. I'll read that to you again. Student interpretations of social media posts and false information have exacerbated the overall concern. We want our parents and students to know there has been no threats to our building nor to our students. The safety and security of our students and staff is always our top priority. To accomplish this task, Oxford High School has numerous highly trained professionals who work to keep our building safe and secure. We have counselors and social workers who work with students on a daily basis. We also have 2 highly trained security guards and an Oakland County resource officer on site who assist us as well. Please contact us if you are aware of a specific threat or concerns that you have heard directly. Sincerely, Oxford High School Administration. Whoa! I mean, okay. So that is the school being warned that this psycho is going to shoot up the school, and the school responding by telling parents, don't worry about it. Your kids are just being drama queens. This could never happen here. This happens in other places. This could never happen here. The patronizing tone, and then the blame on the students for being overly dramatic. Honestly, their interpretations of social media posts have really exacerbated the situation, and it's making it so much harder for us. Somebody's gonna get fucked. I am telling you, there is gonna be civil suit. There are 3 dead children. There are parents. They were interviewing parents who were there, who were talking about how they knew about something going down here, and that they knew of other parents who didn't have to be in the parking lot of a Meijer store across town as a what do they call them, a reclamation center or whatever, where the parents were, where they would bust the kids over once they were safely removed from the school. How there were parents that didn't have to be there because they took the threat seriously. And children, large groups of children at this high school were being kept home this week because they were so afraid of these threats that this little monster was making. This kid wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment shooter. This kid was saying, I'm going to fuck some people up. I'm going to kill some people. Countdown begins. You wait. It's going to happen next week. I mean, all these administrators had to do was take that seriously. And also, the kids knew who the guy was. The kids all knew who the guy was. This was not an anonymous person. They knew the kid who was making the threats. The kid, we saw the kid in the video. Dude is being true to his word. This wasn't some mystery guy, some mystery character. I mean, my God, this school district is about to go bankrupt. Well, there are going to be some civil suits from, parents whose children have been shot and hurt. Parents, not to say the least of the parents, poor parents who are in mourning, whose parents are now got to bury their kids. The school, they always say, well, if we had only known, if someone had spoken up, see something, say something. And then what happens when you do that? Dead kids, because a bunch of stupid teachers, and I know a couple of really good teachers who are incredibly bright people. But I also know a whole bunch of people who became teachers because, as one friend of mine who is a teacher now told me in high school, I want to be a teacher because you don't really have to be that smart to do that. I mean, I already know the stuff. These are the people who become school administrators, people who are just bitter, middle-aged. They have to deal with all of these beautiful children with nothing but bright lights and roses in their futures. And here they are in some bad suit from Sears, chain smoking in a teacher's lounge. You can't even do that anymore, I guess, because you can't smoke. But I am telling you, I am so angry at the school administration for just not. Boy, oh boy, are we going to hear about this. We are going to. This is crazy. Oh, now look, Sugar Don Lemon is on talking about it. Oh, but he just mentioned it because now he's got to get back into divisive politics. Now it's about Mark Meadows and the January 6th committee. You can only spend a little bit of time on this bullshit that is happening to our kids. And this isn't about guns. This isn't about gun control. I'm not going to go off on a whole rant about that. This is about school administrators not taking this shit seriously, even though this happens once a week. All right, I'm overstating it, being a little bit performative. This isn't happening once a week, but it happens way too much. It happens way more than when I was in high school. It never happened when I was in high school. When I was in high school in the 1980s, did we have any school shootings in the 1980s that weren't, in really bad neighborhoods and really big cities between gang members? I mean, that's a whole other kind of crime. That isn't just some kid who's sick of this shit stealing his dad's gun and going to school and killing people. Let's see here. Channel 9 says... Channel 9, is he a Lookner guy? It says, yeah, he's referencing Lookner. So that's awesome. There it is. Per Steve Lookner from press conference, gun used in today's school shooting was purchased 4 days ago by shooter's father. All right, Byron, if 1 out of 2 staff or even 1 out of 3 were trained and armed, the death toll would be greatly decreased. No, it wouldn't, man. That's like saying, you fight the pandemic, more pandemic. No, it wouldn't. These happen so fast. These guns go off. The only thing that might be different, Byron, respectfully, is that maybe the shooter would be dead. That's not an altogether terrible thing. But the very idea that you're going to introduce more guns in the classrooms that, students can steal now, or what is just madness. Now, I would be all for having more armed security personnel on premise. I think if that's where we got to go. Hey, man, have you ever seen anything in Israel? Have you ever seen anything in Israel? There is a military guy everywhere in Israel. You want to go to the 7-Eleven? You want to buy a Slurpee? You're going to stand next to a guy with an M16 or whatever. I don't even know what the hell they use. Byron Granger, why would you want to defund the police? Byron Granger is defund the police. That is like one of the dumbest. You know how I talk about the crazy on the right and the crazy on the left? Ain't nobody want to defund the police. There is nobody that's a real thing for. I mean, other than, if you watch Fox News, they have to make hay of that. But, you can't name, I guess that would be what, a crazy far left thing? Like the idiots in Portland or whatever. But I mean, again, we're talking about 10% lunatics versus 10% lunatics on both sides. Stop with that kind of rhetoric. Oh, are you kidding? I think he's kidding. I think my guy Byron is kidding. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I thought that was you. I thought you were smarter than that, Byron. All right. The education system is Madonna from 84 to 2003. Way fucked. Okay. I like that. There you go. You'll give him a little bit of that. I don't know what to do with this anymore. I mean, my kid is going to school in Texas, and I don't like the fact that there are guns everywhere. I don't like that one bit. I don't like that this is a thing now. I don't like... I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to be divisive. Jeff Glenn says, I'm pretty far left, and the notion of actually defunding the police is too far out there for me. Yeah, that's ridiculous. How about refund the police? How about give the police more? Or how about we take the money that we're giving the police and just actually put it towards, hiring better trained officers and stuff like that. I mean, I'll tell you flat out, the sleepy suburb that I live in Chicago, outside Chicago, where I grew up, Orland Park, it is a very upper middle class suburb. There's probably been one murder in the last 20 years, and we have a tank. We have a police tank, and we have a mobile disaster unit that the police, I mean, we are talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in toys that I can't imagine the police department would ever use. But so, I mean, it seems like that's a misuse of funds. So I certainly don't want to defund the police. My mom was the Illinois State, she's retired from the Illinois State Police after 20 years. I've got family, I've got uncles, police are all over my family. There is absolutely no part of me that would ever even think that defunding the police with the current mayhem that we have in this society would be a good idea. Better training, maybe. Look, we could talk about all that stuff, but the defund. I'm sorry. I apologize to Byron because I thought that he was saying defund the police, and that gets me so mad. What kind of a moron would ever think that that's something that needs to be done? Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's see what the latest is about that. I guess I gave you all the latest on this story. Again, we're talking about Oxford High School in Oakland County, Michigan, just outside of Detroit, where a 15-year-old son of a bitch walked in and killed a whole bunch of kids. Well, a whole bunch. Thankfully, that's a bit overstating it. 3 kids. 3 kids are dead, and there we have it. All right. What else do we want to talk about? Do we want to keep going with this? I'll tell you what. I'll go through the chat room a little bit, and we'll see what people are talking about. And let's see. All right. So there's that. Pretty far left. Kenny Jenkins. Greetings from Corpus. Greetings to you, Kenny. Welcome aboard. Jeff says, trade in the tank for a half dozen mental health specialists. Well, I don't know. Because that's something that people always throw out there too, and certainly, look, I'm a mental deficient. I am absolutely happy and not proud, but freely admit that just like as I believe 99.999% of all of us out there are mentally deficient, we're just not all willing to admit it. We all have, whether it's ego issues or insecurities or depressions or whatever. This is a very complicated bouillabaisse of garbage going on right there between our ears. We all have the same thing, and there are missteps and misfires, and we all do stupid things, and sometimes our brains don't work great. You ever just find yourself doing something really stupid, and you're like, I can't believe why I'm doing that. That's... So we're all a bit mentally deficient. So I certainly believe that mental health, normalize mental health awareness. I'm all for that. But look, I can't even begin to suggest where the money should go for police departments. I've got to believe that there are people who are experts in that matter who could probably channel that money more effectively than me. All I could do is just parrot stuff that I've heard other people who I deem to be experts in the area saying that's not good. Just parroting bullshit. I don't know. It's not my area, but I do think that there needs to be some form of change, some form of reform with police. But this is not about the police. By all accounts, the Oakland County Sheriff's Department reacted in a timely fashion. They ended the situation without any additional bloodshed or gunfire. The boy, the 15-year-old student, was taken into custody without incident. No word on if they stopped at Burger King for him. Remember that? The church shooter in South Carolina? They got him Burger King. He's a little peckish after killing all those people at the church. Can you get a little something? Can I get a double Whopper with cheese? You sure can. I don't know. I hope that the kid was roughed up a little bit, but it doesn't sound like he was. It sounds like the police spokesman said that he was very calm and there was no incident. He didn't resist arrest. And then he got to the police station and his parents were called because he's a minor. He's only 15 years old. His parents were called. The parents showed up and parents immediately said he will not be speaking to you. He will not be saying anything. So at that point, about a half hour after that was the first press conference of the afternoon, and that's where the police said that he is not cooperating. On the advice of his parents, he is not cooperating, and the parents then left, and it is believed that they went and found a lawyer right away. By the way, if you're a lawyer, and I know there's a lot of lawyers out there looking for high-profile clients or whatever, do you want a school shooter? I mean, is that a desired thing that lawyers would want? A school shooter? Is that good on the lawyer's resume? I don't know. Can you win this court? Can you win this case? I'm not entirely sure you can. But hey, there's a lawyer for everyone out there because this is America. We make, just like Doritos, go ahead, eat a lawyer. We'll make more. Plenty of lawyers. Okay. I really want to move away from that, guys. We good? We good. Come on. That's not what we do here. Byron. Oh, Byron is a crazy radical. Okay, so you're 10% crazy. All right, buddy. As long as you don't just come looking for, just don't come looking for me. All right? I'm just trying to surf these waves. I'm getting older. I don't want trouble with nobody, man. By the way, this show, it's not like we can be selective. I don't care if you're crazy right or crazy left. I just want you. I want you. I'm going to try and be nice to you. This whole point here is that we can be nice to each other. People who are diametrically opposed on all kinds of issues do not have to want to rip each other's heads off and shit down their necks, right? We can all, on some level, just agree to disagree and go back to being normal. This was the way of the world for hundreds of years. Okay, here's a story I wanted to talk about. This one, boy, oh boy, this is a fun one. And I have no take on this. I really don't. I've been thinking about this thing all day long. I have no idea what I think about this. All I know is that, are you watching Dopesick? Dopesick is a show on Hulu about the Sackler family and how they are essentially 100% responsible for the opioid crisis in America. The fact that everybody is strung out is due to the Sackler family and their dirty dealings, and they've felt an economic punch in the gut from all of this. The company was in bankruptcy, and so they didn't get away scot-free. However, the main guy, the main character, the main Sackler of shit, if you will, who was portrayed in Dopesick on Hulu. He's still worth like $11 billion. He's got a big old house outside Austin. He's living here. He's got everybody strung out on oxycodone. That's what they did. They invented. Remember back when we were kids in the 80s, or maybe you weren't even born yet. There was no such thing as oxycodone. There was no oxy. It was all, you break your leg, you get a Tylenol 1, 2, or 3. That's what you get, and you were happy with it. But those were very addictive. So the Sackler family, what was the company? What is the company? I don't even know what company it is. Pharmaceutical. I can't even think of it now. I'm sorry, my head is spinning. Whatever. Pharmaceutical. That's what we have. It's what we have Google for, right? Google knows all. Google answers every question. What pharmaceutical company made oxycodone? Purdue Pharma.
To the New York Times, Purdue Pharma, the maker of the highly addictive painkiller OxyContin, was dissolved on Wednesday in a wide-ranging bankruptcy settlement that will require the company's owners, members of the Sackler family, to turn over billions of dollars of their fortune to address the deadly opioid epidemic. Okay, and that is what the Hulu show is about. So it's Purdue Pharma. So Purdue Pharma, because Tylenol 1s, 2s, and 3s, they were all too addictive and people were getting strung out, they created something that wasn't addictive at all. And they promised, they sold it off to all these doctors as, look, this is a pain reliever that's not addictive at all. Turns out it was extremely addictive, and they knew it. They just wanted to move a lot of product, so they told people it wasn't addictive. And then now we have, 30 years later, the most sickeningly gross opioid epidemic. You see junkies all over the place. I was with my kid. We were this last winter. Yeah, it was about a year ago now when he come and stay with me in Chicago over Christmas holiday. We were in a very nice suburb of Chicago, Tinley Park. And we had gone into a 7-Eleven, and we got in a car. And as we were sitting in our car in the 7-Eleven, there was a dude
leaning up against the garbage can. You know, they got the little trash cans when you come out of the front of a 7-Eleven. This dude was leaning on the trash. He was zonked. I mean, he wasn't drunk. This was a dude that was strung out on pills, man. And he fell down to one knee, and then he got back up. And my kid's like, we should help him. And I'm like, no, man, we can't help him. We can't. That's a dangerous individual right now. All we can do, we need to call an ambulance or something. I go, look, dude, I don't know that we should even do that. I don't know what we ended up doing. We called 911. We called 911 and we said that there was somebody who looked like they were in distress in front of the 7-Eleven. And again, this was a very upper class suburb. This isn't like you used to have to go into certain neighborhoods to see the junkies on the corner. But now you can go to a 7-Eleven in a neighborhood that's rung with, houses that cost between $500 and $1 million. And, you got a junkie in front of the 7-Eleven there. It was unbelievable. You've all seen it. You've probably got people in your family. Hell, pro football players were getting all strung out on this stuff and like, oh, just a bunch of rich junkies. No, not really. I mean, I gave Brett Favre a whole lot of shit when Brett Favre became an addict for this stuff and, he struggled to get clean and all that. And now here we are 15 years later and we're seeing the full story, the full scope of it. And we're going, oh my God, these people were actually told by, something going on? Something just popped up. I'm sorry. Something strange just happened. What is happening? What is happening in the chat room? Hi there. Unfortunately, our agents are currently busy, but we promise that you will receive a reply within 2 minutes. What reply? From Restream. Looking for Pam. Man, I was rolling too. I was rolling on my whole opioid addiction thing. Okay, we're going to ignore that. All right, so having set the table with all of that, we all know what's going on. Albert says, I have a family member who was addicted to Oxy. She was prescribed dosage. This happened a couple of years back. It was horrible. Yeah, Albert. Michael Keaton is great in Dope Sick. If you guys aren't watching Dope Sick on Hulu, you're missing out. It's really good. It's one of those shows that I imagine next year come Emmys, it's going to be. And the winner is Dope Sick. And the winner is Dope Sick. It's really good. It's really good. I watched the first 3 episodes and then I thought, oh my God, this is so good. And, they were slow rolling the episodes like they'd release another one every week. And then I just, 2 nights ago, I just started getting caught up. So I'm going to finish out the series probably here in the next day or 2. But, so, knowing that we have a Dope Sick Nation, officials in New York City say the first government-approved supervised drug injection site in the nation began offering services to people with addictions on Tuesday. The program, backed by Bill de Blasio, is part of the city's harm reduction strategy. He's outgoing mayor. He's only mayor for another couple of weeks, so he's doing some pretty radical shit here. The program, backed by Mayor Bill de Blasio, is part of the city's harm reduction strategy designed to reduce an unprecedented surge of overdose deaths. After exhaustive study, we know the right path forward to protect the most vulnerable people in our city. After exhaustive study, we know the right path forward to protect the most vulnerable people in our city. I have a bit of a problem with that, referring to people who are addicted to opioids as the most vulnerable people in the city. I think if you're looking at them as the most vulnerable people in the city, you're not really looking at your city. Certainly that's a sad subgroup of people in the city. But I would say the most vulnerable people in your city are probably poor kids in public housing or, kids that are dodging bullets on their way to school. Let's not pretend that like junkies are the most vulnerable. It's a sad situation, but please, you're overstating it. After exhaustive study, we know the right path forward to protect the most vulnerable people in our city, de Blasio said in a statement on November 30th. Overdose prevention centers are a safe and effective way to address the opioid crisis. Dr. Dave Chikloshi, New York City Health Commissioner, told NPR on Tuesday that arrangements have been made with the New York City Police Department and other law enforcement agencies so that people with addiction can use the sites without fear of arrest. We are confident these are spaces that will be allowed to operate for what they are, Dr. Chikloshi said. They're clinical, safe, hygienic spaces where people can go to access care and seek treatment. According to officials, more than 2,000 people in New York City died from fatal overdoses in 2020. That's 5 people a day. The safe drug consumption sites will be operated at sites that also offer clean needles and other services. A feasible study conducted by the New York City Health Department found the program could save up to 130 lives a year. Okay. Like I said, I've been thinking about this story all day. This was trending this afternoon, and I was going to talk about it during high noon. And I've been stewing on it even more. And here's what I'll say. He's being proactive. He's doing something that is proactive, and this truly is an epidemic. But I don't know. Drugs are illegal. So what they are doing is they are allowing, I can't even read the chat room now. What are all of these damn things? Hello, I will respond to you in this chat. Now, is Ed doing something? Folks, I'm sorry. Everything with Restream, which is the software that we use to do this show, is just really wiggy tonight. All right, I want to out of here. Get out of here. Get out of these. All right, there we go. Now they're gone. So anyway, my thoughts on this. All right, so clean needles are important if you're a junkie or if you're a loved one of a junkie, because clean needles can spread some pretty nasty diseases. And, so people catch AIDS and people catch, what's that other thing? What's the other bad one? Hepatitis, all these kinds of things. So if you're a junkie and you need to fix up, you don't have to do it in a back alley anymore or on a bus or on a subway train. There are now going to be, well, it's not even like there are now going to be a bunch of these. There's one. This is the story about one place. So only the junkies that are in walking distance from this place really have opportunity to use it. And they'll go in and they'll sit down and they'll be given a free needle, and then they'll pull out their bag of illegal drugs. And there's going to be cops there. There's got to be. I mean, you got to have some form of security. These are not people that can be trusted to be behaved. Somebody's just going to steal. I don't have any. That guy's got some. I'm just going to steal his junk. And now what? You got a New York City cop breaking up a fight between 2 guys doing illegal things, but one guy's doing something that is illegal in the moment, which is stealing from the other one. But we're just going to ignore the fact that they're doing illegal drugs. Man, this is a complicated story. I don't know how I feel about it. I know I feel that we need to be proactive. I know we need to come up with new ideas. I think a good start was bankrupting Purdue Pharma. But again, still, is it Richard Sackler? Richard Sackler's still down there in Austin with $11 billion, so he weathered that storm all right. The centers located in Manhattan will be operated by a new nonprofit group called On Point New York City. It's formed by 2 organizations focused on harm reduction. Being the first OPC site in the U.S. is an honor. An honor? Is that the right word to use? It's a sad necessity, maybe, but I don't know if you should be honored. Is an honor and an incredible step forward in ending the opioid crisis, the group said in a tweet Tuesday morning. Oh, boy. People with substance abuse disorder, now it's a disorder? See, now it's a disorder? There are real disorders out there. This is somebody who's strung out on drugs, whether by their own choice or not. And I want to say something that is probably, I hope you guys know me. I hope you know that I have a good heart, and I hope you know that I care about people. And I certainly am not one of these guys that thinks, well, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps, because I think that's fucking very nearsighted and bullshit. But you can quit being a junkie. You can. You really can. You don't have to just continue being a junkie. What you have to do is commit to like a week of just being miserable, of just the cold sweats and the chills, and you can't sleep, and you got a headache, and your muscles hurt, and your body is going through withdrawals, and it just absolutely so that's not really a disorder. Like, if somebody had like a real disorder, like schizophrenia, and they could get rid of the schizophrenia if they just went through a week of hell, if they had that choice, they do it, and you wouldn't have schizophrenia anymore. But if you're a junkie, you have a choice. You can get rid of this disorder anytime you want. It'll just suck. It'll just be terrible. But you can. It's not like you have to live with it for the rest of your life. So, again, New York City calling them the most vulnerable people in their city when there are little kids dodging bullets going to school is bullshit. Somehow labeling these people as suffering from a disorder is really, really relieving them of the burden of personal responsibility. And maybe, and honestly, I'm watching Dopesick. I feel for these people. A lot of these people, you know, they had back surgery and their back was hurting. And their doctor said, sure, you can take these. Won't be a problem at all. And then 10 years later, they're like completely, oh, he said it wouldn't be a problem. So for those people and a lot of these people, you know, it's no fault of their own. However, the continued use of it years and years after, simply because it's, simply, again, what an ugly way for me to frame this, huh? It's not simply a desire that they don't want to have to go through cold sweats and stuff, but you can. Someone can lock you in a room. I mean, we used to see this. I've seen this depicted in all kinds of documentaries and stuff back in the 70s about drugs. I can't remember what it was. There was a documentary that was made, and I saw it in college. It was about junkies, heroin junkies, and how, Cold Turkey, it was called, and it was how they got clean. And they can get clean. It's just awful. So, I don't know. People with substance use disorder. Oh, God, I just cringe when I say that. It's not a disorder. Substance use disorder will be able to inject heroin and other illicit drugs under the care of medical professionals. They will also be offered access to addiction treatment and other health care. So, how is this going to work? Like, is it just heroin? Or what if, Billy Joe Jim Bob, he's up in New York enjoying, so he decides he wants to find a place where he can smoke his meth pipe in a little bit of peace. Can you walk into one of these places and smoke a little meth? Can you start? Is it going to be a bunch of people smoking crack? Are they going to get arrested? I mean, and then is there going to be an argument about, I thought this was free? You know what this reminds me of? If any of you guys watched The Wire, and I thought this was brilliant. There was a story arc in The Wire. I don't know what season it was, but the drugs were taking over the streets of Baltimore so bad that the police captain of the district decided to turn an old, burned down warehouse district into a legal open air drug market. And he didn't tell anybody else. He just had all of his drug officers tell the dealers on the street corners, all right, we're going to bust you every hour on the hour if you're on this street corner. We're going to make it miserable for you to be on this street corner, or you can just move all of your business down by where that old factory is. And we're going to put all of you guys there. And it turned into like this festival of just open air drugs. It's a very interesting story arc. That's what this feels like. So if you're familiar with The Wire, when they did that, when they turned the factory area into an open air drug market where people could come and buy drugs and they wouldn't be arrested and police would just let them. But what it did was it saved the other neighborhoods, like the other parts of the neighborhood where kids were playing and stuff like that. They didn't have to deal with guys slinging crack on the corners because all of those guys were now removed from those areas and put in one central area. Similar sites in Australia and Canada have proven successful at preventing overdoses, reducing drug use in public places, and promoting safer injection practices that reduce the spread of diseases such as HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis. Supervised injection sites have been proposed in cities including Denver, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Seattle. But drug war era policies and legal challenges have long delayed creation of safe drug consumption programs in the U.S. Officials in New York City told NPR that they are unaware of any legal challenges filed to block this program. Following New York City's announcement Tuesday, the Baltimore City Public Health Department praised the decision in a tweet. "We're proud of you, New York." I don't know if I'm proud of them or not. I don't know. This is a tough one, man. And what about the feds? Here it is. In January, a panel of federal judges blocked creation of a supervised injection site proposed in Philadelphia. The opioid crisis may call for innovative solutions, said the judges. Local innovations may not break federal law. That's what the judges decided when they tried to do this in Philly. In the months since that ruling, drug overdose deaths have continued to surge nationwide, with more than 100,000 Americans in a single 12-month period for the first time. Earlier this month, the Biden administration declined to endorse safe drug use sites as a strategy for reducing fatal overdoses. All right, well, what a surprise. Biden doesn't want legal weed. You think he's going to be okay with this? During a press conference earlier this month, Dr. Rahul Gupta, head of the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, said the matter would be decided by the courts. We cannot address this specifically around overdose prevention sites primarily because of ongoing litigation, he said. On Tuesday, a spokesperson for the Justice Department declined to comment on what New York City was doing, New York City's overdose prevention program. It's unclear whether New York City's safe injection program will face opposition and legal challenges. De Blasio has acknowledged that this is a possibility and that there is also a chance of federal crackdowns. All right, so you're going to have a bunch of junkies. They're going to all be fixing up. There's going to be a bunch of New York City police cops just standing around. They gotta hate it. So they're going to be standing around, not arresting anybody. Dude's doing drugs right in front of them. And then all of a sudden, in come the DAA. They're going to pull up in front. It's going to be a crash team. They're going to kick in the doors. They're going to haul all of these people off for, this is, what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the whole thing where, if this is the argument. So, how ridiculous people think that the best way to stop teenagers from getting pregnant is to just have them abstain? that play? Well, the best way to not get pregnant is to just not have sex. Teenagers, man, those hormones are going crazy. That is not an option. It is not an option that teenagers are not going to have sex. Half of you dudes out there who think your daughters are virgins, they're not. People are having sex. They've always had sex. That's how we're here. That's how the next 100 generations are going to be here. And it's when you're a teenager when this is crazy. So I always believed that you should hand out condoms. I've always said that, school nurses in every high school in America should have a big thing of condoms. And if a kid walks in and they need a condom, it's better than having all of these. It's better than having abortions. It's better than having unwanted babies. It's better than all that stuff. You cannot expect teenagers to just not have sex. Teenagers are invincible. Remember? Get pregnant. Well, that can't happen to me. That happens to other people. And sex feels so good. I'm invincible. I'm 16. Come on, that's ridiculous. Those kids are going to be doing it in the backseat of cars. They're going to be doing it outside. They're just going to be doing it because that's what kids do. So give them access to things that could lessen the inevitable complications of young love, which would be getting your girlfriend pregnant at 16. Nobody wants abortions. There's nobody. Look, I'm a pro-choice guy. Actually, I'm a woman's right to choose because I'm a dude. I can't get pregnant. I really shouldn't have a vote in this. But nobody want abortions. That's not a good. It's not a good option. Nobody's pro-abortion, no matter what you try and say. So give the kids condoms. That's what this play reminds me of. So you're not going to stop them from shooting up. They're junkies. They are literally addicted to it. So why not provide them with a safe space where they're not going to be able, they're not going to be a nuisance. They're not going to be an eyesore. They're not going to be, kids aren't going to be able to see them. They're not going to, if they fall over and overdose in an alley and their body gets eaten by rats, that's not going to happen because now they're just going to overdose in front of a nurse at this clinic where they're going to be allowed to. So I don't know. Man, this is complicated. Woo! Have no clue what this, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about this. All right, so there's that story. That happened in New York today. So congratulations, New York. You are doing some crazy-ass shit. What else do we have? Oh my God. Okay, so it appears that Ed is maybe talking to someone. Okay, so that's what's going on. I was not aware that Ed was involved in some ongoing chat with the people at Restream, and I keep Xing out of it because it's blocking the chat room, but I can work around it now that I know that it's Ed that's involved. My apologies, Ed. Sorry about that. I just thought that was another one of these wiggy, weird things that was happening with the show tonight. All right, what else can we talk about? See, Playboy Mansion life, right? That was like a whole thing that I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to talk about that with James and sunglasses. That's something we got to talk about with people. Should we do justice for Chad? Should we get serious? I guess we have been serious. Why not? Why not? It's on brand. All right. So this has been trending all day. Justice for Chad. It is disturbing. It is... I talked about it briefly the other night. I described it, and I said that... well, here's the context of how I talked about it. I posted something about this on Friday, and Dallas-Fort Worth broadcast legend Jody Dean jumped into the thread and had some comments about it. And then another person jumped in and had some comments for his comments. And then Jody Dean and this other guy just went back and forth for like 30 I mean, it went on and on and on, and they were debating, and they were countering one another's contentions. I mean, there was no name calling, there was no screaming, there was no politics. It was all just two obviously smart, well-intentioned people who are on slightly different sides of this argument, and they were having a truly interesting and creatively, hold on, I'm sorry. They were having a good debate. And I, at some point, after like 30 or 40 of these things, I said, I'm talking to Restream tech support for the past hour. Sorry, folks. So this is from Ed. This is about why I'm doing the show alone. Sorry. See, I'm trying to do a couple of things at once, and this is kind of important because it impacts tomorrow's show. I've been talking to Restream tech support for the past hour. I'm finally convincing them nobody involved is stupid, and nothing has changed on our side. They've started going through the logs of the first two attempts tonight. No idea what that means or when I will hear back from them. Well, thank you, Ed. It's unfortunate that he's been tied up all night trying to figure this stuff out. I'm guessing that means I can X out of this now. Okay. So there was this wonderful debate that was on my Twitter page regarding this particular story that we're going to talk about next. And then I wake up this morning and I see Justice for Chad trending. I'm like, well, what is that? Because, the noon show, we just talk about all the stuff that's trending. And Justice for Chad is exactly about the story that Jody Dean and the other guy were getting into a big debate about on my Twitter feed. And it's the story of a father who went to go pick up his son. It was time for him to have custody. He was supposed to pick up the kid at 3 o'clock. The kid was supposed to be there at 3 o'clock. It was now 3:15, and the dad was extraordinarily upset, yelling, screaming, making demands, not being cool at all, not handling the situation like a grown-up, not handling it like a well-adjusted person. He was handling it like somebody who was just a slave to their own ego. His anger did not seem to be about the child at all. It seemed to be about the slight or disrespect to him, that at 3 o'clock I'm supposed to pick him up. It's 3:15. Where the fuck is it? It was like just crazy. And the mom is saying whatever the mom is going to say, not important. But the mom also has a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's there. The boyfriend comes out. Now the boyfriend's John at the dad, and the dad's John at the boyfriend. The dad is being really aggressive. Really aggressive. And this happened in Lubbock, by the way. This is all going down in Lubbock, Texas. And at some point, the boyfriend just says, okay, I've had enough of this, and he goes inside. The boyfriend comes back outside, and now he's got a gun. And he's going to use the gun now. Get off my property, boy. It turns into that whole thing. Dad does not like that he has a gun, but like I said, man, none of this was about the kid. This was all just about ego. This was all just about immature, emotionally childish, grown-ass men who were just slaves to their own egos. And so Dad gets shot. Dad gets at point-blank range. The boyfriend pulls the gun and pop, kills him, drops him right there on the porch. And, well, here, I'll tell you the story. And I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to let you see the video or not. I don't know if that's something, it's news, and we're talking news, and we're not being silly. We're talking about, look, I'm in a custody situation myself. Thankfully, mine is pretty damn wonderful. We've never had an issue. So, it's just frightening to me. A TikTok demanding justice for a Texas father who was allegedly killed by his ex-partner's boyfriend is taking off as a heartbroken family share their story. The family say Chad Reed was killed by his ex-wife's partner during a heated argument. Madison Faye Luscombe, who identifies herself as Reed's stepdaughter, that's Chad Reed, the man who got shot and killed. Madison Faye Luscombe, who identifies herself as Reed's stepdaughter, posted a video to TikTok of her family gathered around her mother, making a toast to Chad with the caption, "We are tired, we are angry, we want justice," sparking the popularity of the hashtag Justice for Chad. On November 5th in Lubbock, 54-year-old Chad Reed reportedly went to his ex-wife's house looking for his children that were in Christina's custody. Christina's the mom. Christina's custody. Christina's boyfriend Kyle was there. Kyle Carruth was there. And when things got heated between the divorced parents, Carruth allegedly decided to go inside and get a long-barreled rifle from inside the house to go get Reed off their property before ultimately shooting and killing him. In her video, the stepdaughter of the dead man, in her video, Luscombe wrote, "Our stepdad was shot and killed by a man with high-profile ties within the community. Our mom and 11-year-old brother witnessed the shooting and captured it on video." According to the stepdaughter, the police didn't arrest Carruth that day, and there weren't any charges to be laid against him, but the family is still looking for answers. Kyle Carruth, the man who shot him, claims he killed Chad Reed in self-defense. Reed's camp, the dead man's camp, believes that it was murder, but Carruth's attorneys are claiming that he acted in self-defense, an argument that has been brought up time and time again, especially recently in the wake of the Rittenhouse verdict. There's now a new self-defense trial brewing in the prosecution of Carruth that hasn't even happened yet. Video footage of Chad Reed's death has been released. The widow's attorney attached a statement and video of the shooting to the petition to regain custody of Chad's kids from their mother. Jennifer Reed, the widow of the dead dad, the second wife, the widow of the dead dad, has filed a petition today seeking to take custody of Chad's children from their mother. Because the new Lubbock public address access system makes this information available to the public, and the likelihood of the information contained in her petition and affidavit being obtained by the media, she has decided that it is best to simply release the information directly instead of waiting for it to be discovered. The mobile phone video released by KCBD was edited to remove cursing and to cut out Chad's body dropping to the ground, but does show the altercation that escalated and ultimately led to his death. Kyle Carruth, the shooter, can be seen entering his home as the altercation between Reed and his ex-wife Christina worsens, and steps back out onto the porch with a gun and then asks Chad Reed to leave his property. Reed aggresses and swears at him, telling him to use it or I'll take it from you and I'll use it on you, as they bump chests. Carruth leaves the gun pointed downward with the barrel behind Chad. When Reed, the dead man, touches the gun, Carruth steps back and fires a warning shot at the dead man's feet. I'm saying that to try and keep it all straight. All right. So the dead man tries to grab the gun, and then the dude with the gun recoils and shoots off a warning shot at his feet, which the dead man responds to by following Carruth and trying to wrestle the gun away from him. While Carruth, the shooter, is free of this altercation, he raises the gun and fires 2 shots at Reed, killing him, and then telling Jennifer Reed, the new wife who was filming all this in the car, the mother who's in the car filming, that he told them to leave. I mean, the way he says it. Here's a quote now. "I believe that Christina Reed and Kyle Carruth engaged in a conspiracy to assault and or murder Chad that day." So basically, without having to go through all the details, the new wife of the dead man is now trying to get custody of the dead man's children. And she is claiming that the children are in a dangerous environment because obviously the new boyfriend, Kyle, shoots people willy-nilly. And she's also claiming that the children do not want to stay there anymore, knowing that the new boyfriend killed their dad, which is understandable. And they also don't want to be with the mother anymore because they feel that the mother set their dad up to be killed. Terrible mess. His oldest son said that he is going to run away from home. Jennifer believes that she should have custody of the kids, citing that the children are aware that Kyle Carruth shot and killed their father in front of their mother, stepbrother, and myself. The mother's decision, or Christina's decision, to allow either of these children to be in Kyle Carruth's presence has caused and continues to cause significant impairment of their emotional well-being. The oldest child has expressed to me, this is the stepmom talking, the oldest child has expressed to me that he blames his mother for the shooting and that he will run away from home if he sees Kyle there again. The Lubbock shooting case is in the hands of the Texas Attorney General, and so there's no charges yet. Feel like after all of that we should see it. I think that there should be a warning, because if we see it, then maybe my comments on it will be better understood and it will give some context. And again, justice for Chad is trending. Chad is the dead guy. When I say, after reading that story and I say, there are no good guys in this story, I think that only makes sense after you see the video. The question becomes, was it self-defense? Was it unnecessary? Well, first of all, it's totally unnecessary. This completely didn't need to happen, but it did. But was it self-defense? All right. Okay. So let's do that, right? All right. Oh, boy. All right. Folks, fair warning, okay? Get out of the chat room right now. This is graphic. You're about to see a man get killed, okay? Someone is going to die in the next 30 seconds on the little box here that is currently, got my face in it. So I want you all to be aware that you are about to see some very graphic shit, okay? If it's not your thing, this is what's called fair warning to just get the hell out. Maybe it's not your thing, and God bless you if it's not. But I do want to have a conversation about it, and I might say some pretty provocative things, and I honestly think that if you see it, you'll have better context to understand where I'm coming from. So here we go. All right, we'll let this play out. We'll show what this is all about. Okay. I believe it's sharing. All right, so what we're seeing here is the guy in the green shirt, that's the dead man. Okay? So he's the dad. He's demanding to find his kids. His kids aren't there. They're supposed to be there at 3. It's now 3:15. And oh my God, he is not handling that well.
It's on video. Get off the property.
Where's my son?
Her ex-husband has stone up.
Okay. So that's how it ends. This video, obviously, this is how it begins. I'm sorry. You see how it ends. So here's the context for it. And it's the new wife in the car filming.
I'll go get him. I'm supposed to have him at 3:15. You're playing games telling me that I can pick him up at 6? I'm going to have him call. I've already got the pump on the way to your mom's house. Because that's probably where he is. It's not when I'm done working. I get him at 3:15. I get him at 3:15. I don't care if you wanted to see him or not. I get him at 3:15. If you want to see him, you see him up until 3:15. You keep trying to keep my son from me. I'm fixing to drag you and Anne Marie and everybody else into court. I'm subpoenaing your mom. I'm subpoenaing Anne Marie. This is on video. Yeah, please do it right now. You better fucking use it, motherfucker. God damn it, I'll take it from you and fucking use it on video.
Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. Call 911. I have it on video, Kyle. You did it, not him.
I told all of y'all to leave.
We came to get his son.
He's not here.
She should have told that. She should have told that.
None of y'all should be here. None of y'all should be here. I asked you to leave. I did everything. I did not want to do any of this.
911. Kyle.
All right. There you have it. That could have, now you understand when I say that could have been handled far better. That not one person, not one of those two fucking idiot men, and that's what they are. They're both idiot men, total idiots. Look, the one guy is dead. It's terrible that it had to come to that, but that guy was an idiot. That guy was not handling the custody situation. He certainly wasn't thinking about the kids. Certainly, all he was thinking about how, I'm son of a bitch, I've been wronged, and my ego rules me, and this cannot stand. Calm the fuck down, Mr. Important. Jesus Christ. Look, one of the things that I have learned about being in, and take it from me, I'm in a beautiful custody situation. Oh, and God forbid me making this statement ever comes back to haunt me. But I mean, we get along. We sit together at football games. We're friendly. We're fluid with each other. We don't. The court says that I get him from this time. No. Yes, the court threw that out, but we are reasonable people who love this child equally. And I'll give you an example. Like, the court says that I'm supposed to have my son on New Year's Eve. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but it's that whole thing. And this New Year's Eve, I'm not going to have my son for the first time in 12 years. I'm not going to spend New Year's Eve with my son. Why? Because his mom's sister is getting married. They're having a wedding. And I'm upset. I'm sad that I'm not going to spend New Year's Eve with him. But I'm fluid, baby. I'm like, okay, I get that. That's a fine. He needs to go to his aunt's. He should be at his aunt's wedding. I totally get that. That sucks for me. But you know what? That's when a marriage falls apart and there's a child involved. You've got to go into that understanding that there are going to be a whole lot of situations that are going to suck for you. Because you two adults fucked up. You two adults couldn't keep it together, and you've decided to break up the family that child was at some point dependent on. And you know what? Sometimes being and making a custody arrangement work means you gotta be willing to eat shit, and you gotta be willing to put your ego in the back seat. Your ego has nothing to do with this garbage. So, my situation, if I was that guy, the dead guy, if I was that guy, he ain't going to your sister's wedding. I'm supposed to have him on, and I ain't gonna, and this is gonna drag y'all into court. That's fucking madness. That is ridiculous. Who on earth thinks that kind of response is in any way beneficial to the child? What was that noise? I just heard something. So, justice for Chad. Chad is the guy that is dead. Chad is the guy that got shot. Chad is also the guy, in my opinion, that started that whole situation. I mean, now Kyle, the shooter, fuck Kyle. Kyle didn't know how to react either. Kyle did not behave properly. That was not the right way to go with that. Kyle went and got a gun because he's big man. Suddenly I got a gun and I'm a big man and I'm going to shoot you dead. Fuck you, Kyle. You're a murderer, Kyle. Now, the dead guy certainly exacerbated the situation with his crazy oversized ego and his ridiculous demands and his unwillingness to put the children first. So that's why I tell you, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if that's I'll tell you this. I lean closer to the side that was out and out murder than I do to the side that it was self-defense. That dude wasn't being attacked when he shot him. That dude was free of the tangle. He took a couple of steps back. He raised up the gun and he dropped that guy. That guy didn't have a gun. That guy didn't, worst case scenario, can't shoot at his foot or his leg or something. You pull the trigger, you gotta be willing to kill the man, I guess. But in that situation, I don't think it called for that response. And here's what I also think. I think that guy went in and got the gun thinking, well, this'll end it. I'll chase him off my property because he ain't gonna fuck with me because I got a gun. Well, he didn't realize who he was dealing with. He was dealing with Crazy Chad. He was dealing with Crazy Chad, who isn't being reasonable right now. Crazy Chad is all wrapped up in his ego and his feelings being slighted, and he probably doesn't like that you're fucking his ex-wife, regardless of the fact that his girl is in the car. Doesn't matter. Chad don't like that. And Chad's a man. You can just tell. Chad is The dead guy, hashtag justice for Chad, seemed like a real douchebag. He really did. He seemed like one of these asshole guys that, you don't want to deal with in traffic. I'll put it to you that way. Not a reasonable person. Not a cool guy. Not a guy that takes, things easy, baby. He's not that guy. Chad's an in-your-face, gonna fuck you up kind of dude. At least that's the way he expressed himself to me in that short video clip. And now he's dead. Because he came up against Kyle, who seemed a bit more meek, a little bit. Kyle was probably intimidated by Chad. I bet you that get the gun out of there. And Kyle ain't fucking with Chad. Chad would probably beat the shit out of Kyle. But Kyle went and got a gun, wanted to even the playing field, and then he pulled the trigger and killed him. So, man, I don't know. What are we talking about? Is that self-defense? Let's look at the chat room. Albert says, we as dads have to be good examples for our kids and how to reason. We probably know why. Yeah, we probably know why he's an... Yeah, he seems like he's a dick. Leslie says it was murder. Clovis says gun appeared to be some sort of carbine, more likely a 9mm. Clovis, hi, buddy. I don't know what that means, my man. Whatever. It was a gun. It did what it was designed to do. It dropped that dude instantly. That guy didn't even move. Leslie asks, so why didn't he just call the police? No reason to go get the gun. Yeah, I agree. It seems like that's what you do in that situation. That's why we pay our taxes. You got to get the police involved. Let's see here. Let's see. Why didn't he just call the police? No reason to go get that. Gun appeared to be some sort of... Yes. No one... It was murder. Two idiots that just... Clovis says, 2 idiots that just had to keep escalating the situation to the point of death. Yeah, that is pretty much what happened there. Guns. I don't know, man. Not a big gun guy. Doesn't mean I want to come and take your guns. I have no interest in that. I would like to see it more difficult for people to get guns. I think here's all I want. I want it to be as difficult to get a gun as it is to get a driver's license. That's it. I want it to be as difficult, which means that there's got to be a course that has to be passed. It means that there's got to be some boxes checked before we just let any old, guy go get himself some killing machine. But I don't have any interest in taking your guns. I don't have any interest in getting rid of the Second Amendment. Boy, that's too big of a hill to climb for me. I would just like to see it. How about this? How about we make getting a gun as difficult as it is to get an abortion? How about something like that? Oh boy, that was unnecessary. that was a little bit. All right, so that's why justice for Chad is trending. I do think that there needs to be charges brought. I mean, we need this to go through the courts, right? Now, I guess there's an argument, well, he was on his property and he's a homeowner or whatever. Get off my property, boy. Apparently that's a right to kill somebody. I don't know. I want there to be charges. I want there to be something that plays out in court, and I want a reasonable judge to look at all sides and see all the facts and digest it and work through it, and then I want a jury to tell the rest of us what the hell happened there. Because I don't know. I don't know if it's self-defense or whatever. I just know that, God, men can be such idiots. We can be such idiots. I've been, raising my hand, I've been the idiot. I've been the idiot man a time or two in my life. But never in that situation. Never in the situation when it comes to, the relationship with my son's mother. And, she's got a stepfather. She's got a new husband. So my boy's got a stepfather. We're not close. We're very nice. Very friendly, very nice to each other. I suppose it was easy when, I was in Chicago. I was 1,000 miles away and I didn't get to see my kid all the time. And I think on some level that I had some concerns about, what was this going to be like now with me just living 15 minutes away from my son and, seeing him more regularly and, on weekends and stuff like that. And maybe there was some concern about would the dynamic change, would the attitudes change, but no, damn it, man. My ex, my son's mom is wonderful. We get along great. There has never been a situation ever. This is going back 10 years now. There has never been a situation where she has said, hey, would you mind if we did this instead of that? Where I said, no, that, I mean, I've always been like, yeah, absolutely. And the flip side of that, as she has as well, every change to any plan that I've needed. Hey, instead of me getting them on Thursday, can I get them on Wednesday and then bring them back on Sunday afternoon? It's because I got this. Absolutely, you can. Yeah, whatever you need to do, we'll make it work. That's kind of what we said. We'll make it work. Ain't nobody want that. Ain't nobody want none of that Chad and Kyle smoke on the front porch of some house in Lubbock. I ain't down for that. My kid don't need to see that. My kid don't need to be put in the middle of some bullshit because his biological mom and dad couldn't keep their ego out of it. So there's that with that. All right, anything else we got here? Oh, baby. What a crazy night, huh? We talked about school shootings. We talked about junkies. And oh, my God, we were supposed to have a bunch of people here. We had a whole bunch of fun stuff that was scheduled. And this all, look at this. This just turned into a college lecture on, what I think about stuff, which is all right. I appreciate you folks hanging out with me. We're getting the last hour of Giving Tuesday, which is a big day every year where they ask you to give to charities. Did you give to any charities? Did you? I hope you did. Even if it's just like $1, it's a good thing to get into. It's just thinking about other people. That's probably something that's important. Not probably something that's important. Gee, you think, Pogs? What, are you tired from talking to yourself for the last 90 minutes? I don't know if I'm tired. But I do appreciate you. Sorry for the change in plans. We were going to do a little bit different show tonight, but we didn't. By the way, you can, as always, help support the show. It's the end of the month. We aren't anywhere near where we need to be for this month. I'm having some. I'm personally having some troubles making the end of the month. So what? But if it comes down to you giving something to me, give $1 less and then give $1 to some charity. But we do appreciate anything you can do monetarily to help the show go. You can use any of those things there at the bottom there: the Venmo, the PayPal, the Pugscast tips, we call them. But this has not been a particularly good month. And we're probably going to end this, not the show. We're probably going to end the solicitation for donations early in the start of the year because we have some things planned. They're going to make no need for that. So if you haven't, hey, get in now. Support the show now. Also, you can support the show by talking about it, spreading the word, letting people know. Help us grow in any way that we can. But here we are at the end of the month, and I'm not in a great place with all of these. Wasn't a great fundraising month. Hate to even go there on Giving Tuesday, and you're supposed to be taking care of poor people. I'm a poor person. You can take care of me. It's not the same thing, though. All right, tomorrow, high noon. The high noon shows, I think, have been good lately. I mean, I'm my worst critic. Actually, that's not true. There's a couple people on Facebook who are my worst critics, but I'm right there with them. I think the high noon shows have been good. So circle back around and listen to us tomorrow at noon Central Time, where we go through all the topics of the day, all the things that are trending, anything that's falling in the category of current events for what would be the 1st of December, year 2021. All right, that's it. You guys rule. Thank you so much. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Sorry about the troubles. The troubles. I had some troubles. I'm going to go watch the rest of Dope Sick. Be the start of something new. I hope tomorrow we get the issues fixed with the echo, because I'd like to have E with me tomorrow. Leslie, if we had, you're talking about monetarily, yeah, I'm seeing it now. If we had more information, you could get more, like a countdown. Well, we need to raise, I think think I said that once. We need to raise like $500 a month, and I think that we said that came down to like $15 a show or something like that. And we're just not doing that. But that's fine. This show is not supposed to be designed for my hardworking middle class people to take care of us. But yeah, we probably this week we need to raise a couple $100. We need to see if we can step that up. And I don't ask all weeks, I typically just pitch for the donations on like the 15th and the 30th when I know you guys got money in the bank. Before you spend it at the bars, maybe you throw a little something our way. But thank you. Not a big deal. We'll get there regardless, and the shows will continue. I can eat ramen noodles like a college student. That's not tough. I like ramen noodles. What else? Is there anything else? No, nothing else. All right, love you guys. See you tomorrow. High noon. What is going on here? Hey, folks, we have a surprise caller. Yeah, E?
Hey, do you have the dog?
Oh, we're still on the air, okay. CeeLo! I don't know. I really don't know.
She's barking.
Oh, okay. Hey, folks, we're going to go. E, I'll call you right back, okay?
If she's on the deck.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll handle that right now. Okay. There he goes. The crazy dog. Ah, there we go. He's already in bed. You hear that? I gave him the night off from the show. He's already in bed. All right, I got to go handle. Apparently, there's a dog situation going on. So, bye, everybody. See you tomorrow at noon. Take care. Be well. Shouldn't be that hard to say goodbye. Goodbye, folks.